now let's watch a little bit of Maison Melody 4, the new album of Stephen.
Hi, we're here in Wisseloord Studios in Hilversum, Holland. It's a very well-known studio in the past. It's probably one of the top studios, if not the recording studio of my own country. And as I'm working now on my new album, I thought to go back here to do recordings like I did previously for Homeground, my soul album. This album is a different kettle of fish. It's a piano and string quartet only minimal type of lineup I'm intending to use. It's 10 brand new compositions. They're meant to express my inner world in a less is more type of approach. The working title for the album is Maison Melody. So do visit my socials and we'll keep you informed about it.
Yeah, like it. What do you think? It's cool.
Let's talk about your last album. You just released a free album. Can we know more about it and
Sure.
why? And
Yeah.
when can we hear it?
Well, it was something I started shortly after Homeground, where there was a host of people involved, of course, like Carlo, but also Chaka Khan and many others from all over the place. In fact, it was with vocalists from 4 generations, which I thought was also a nice touch in terms of that kind of generational diversity, because that is one of the last taboos, I think. You know? But anyway, I thought that this is a cast of thousands. That's easy. That's standing on shoulders of giants, of other giants. And how about what is your artistry like when you don't depend on collaborations with famous people or any other folks except yourself? So I decided that vulnerability would be my next challenge. And over time, this concept sort of coincided with the whole Corona thing, because you do soul searching to express yourself in the most individual way. That was my concept for the new album called Maison Melody. And what happened was that it was caught up in, by the crisis of that everybody in the world needed to self-quarantine themselves. But I already sat at home with my earlier task to self-quarantine me, to get into the hyper-focus of the most inner self-expression. And so that was something where all these things I do are challenges, because normally, back in the old days, back at school, I was reasonably lazy. Then I suddenly found the flicking switch to become more active, and that is to challenge myself with these type of assignments. So every project is an assignment to whip me up into activity. Yeah. So and then the album was me almost on my own, and I decided it would be a vulgar, not appropriate idea to make use of the situation and say, look, you're all back at home now. This is what I made back home. And for you to listen to it, you have to pay me. Because at the time, the first Corona in this year we're speaking of, there were so many people who and still do, who probably can't pay their rent anymore. So I decided I earn my money with the media music projects I do. I'll give this one for free for all these people who find difficulty in, paying their mortgage or food even, and they can listen to my music for free.
Yeah. And this year, you are a post-punk boy.
Yep. Very much.
We look like we are living in a Joy Division album. What do you think about 2020?
Well, it's a good point you make, because that's roughly the thing I'm going to produce, hope to create next year, 21, because way back when I went to the boat to England in the early 80s, that was those days, and I actually had the honor of touring through Europe and England as a support band for Joy Division and New Order. And the time then you travel all through Great Britain, and you saw Manchester and Liverpool, where there was all the graffiti on the walls saying "No Future," and the "No Future" thing became translated into sound by groups like Joy Division. And I feel today it's almost there again. What is our future? Is that all depending on the vaccine, or is it
Isolation?
Isolation, yeah, exactly. All of that. And I feel the consolation of isolated music is something which, again, would represent these times again very well. So I'm hoping to make a collaborative album in the next year with people from that period.
How is the relation between your commissioned work and your own autonomous work?
Yeah, they are like gliding scales, because it used to be all the time autonomous work before I started doing the media music. Media music became the other half. Then it became full-time. For a long period of time, I started missing the autonomous music. So 10 years ago, I posted the MySpace stuff, which took me to the next level of autonomous music, came back into the picture again. And now I guess I'm in a 60-40 situation, autonomous and 40% media music.
But does it also relate to each other in a creative way? Are they inspiring each other?
A bit of a pessimistic story I have to tell. After all, we're preparing the new No Future. Is that I really think that today the media music is in danger of becoming less adventurous, less experimental, less budget, less everything, less freedom. So. But this has been going on for the last couple of years, and that was for me a signal to see that I have to pick up autonomous music again, because I can't channel all my creativity anymore in the media music. That's a bit of a new problem now, but rest assured, for the people who want to start in this music type of media music industry, when I mention this, I think that is mainly for mainstream television, entertainment networks, etc. However, for new binge-watching type of series over at Netflix and Amazon and all of that, that's where now the new experimentation lies. So if people want to start doing this type of music, I would advise them, don't do themed shows on the normal broadcast networks, because what they'll ask you is to produce more of the same sort of conformist type of music. If you want to join adventure, then probably that new direction in audiovisual music is those type of series, Breaking Bad, etc.
So Yeah, I think we have asked you all.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure. Maybe I'll call you tomorrow again to ask more questions. But now I already heard that you have this post-punk project to come in
Yeah.
your future. I would love to know, what are you two planning for the future more? Something together?
Hopefully, what we have now is probably that we'll end up, which is, I think, very attractive to, when we work together again, is probably more in the field of autonomous art instead of in production. I think Carlo and I was grateful to be able to join them in that revolution of that period, and we made our mark, and we still see that reflected in the output today of new generations. But for us, it's probably better because we're getting more stubborn instead of easing on down. And when you do, then you're probably better off not serving clients as such anymore.
Do we get it?
Am I mistaken?
no.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your career, for your music, and we cannot wait to hear more from you and see more from you. So keep it coming, and
Thank you.
we hope to see you more time soon.
Thank you.
Hopefully, thank you for asking.
And see you next time at Private Kitchen. Doei!